Today I'm sharing a channeled message from the angels about the progress that we've made so far in terms of our enlightenment, as well as their vision of our future. I'm Ann Tucker, and thanks for joining my YouTube channel. And if you want to see more videos like this, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe. You can do it down below, just below in the description. You'll see this little button you can click that says subscribe. You can also turn on the notifications bell if you want to be notified every time I upload a new video. So I am a trance channel, and I channel from the angelic realm. And what that means is that when I go into meditation, I go into a trance-like state and I raise my awareness up as high as I can go, and then a little bit higher, and I connect with the angels, and they start to send through messages. And they're speaking and I'm writing down. So I'm just, they're transcribing the messages for them. And then I come here and I share them with you. So, and today they started speaking to me about some of what we've been going through in terms of the experiences of 2020 and how that has contributed to our enlightenment, kind of where we're at right now, and then what's coming. So I think it's a really interesting message. I'm excited to share it with you guys. It's a long one. All right, so here we go. They say, we are now beginning. We speak today about the scene happening here upon your shores, the opening of our instigation of meaningful transformation. You may wonder how we proceed. It is for the benefit of mankind, this is all. We wish to be in service to your benefit, and we are helping with this unfoldment to instigate change within your being, to allow your transformation and enable you to have connection to each other and beyond. So that's kind of right there, sets a tone for the whole message. Is a lot of this is they're talking about how important it is our connection to each other, and as well to our higher self, and that this is a big part of how they're defining our enlightenment, this next stage of being. So I'll go on to read the next paragraph here. They say, this change fortuitous in nature happens with the withdrawal from seated traditions, from contemporary situations of oppression and structure not welcome to your beneficent nature. So I think here they're talking about some of the falling away of the structures in the world. So this recent stuff going on with the stock market, with the and stuff going on with really within government and all of these sort of institutions that are being attacked in various ways. It's sort of an unraveling of things that is contributing to this. So I'll go on to read you what they say. So they say it happens with a withdrawal from seated traditions, from contemporary situations of oppression and structure not welcome to your beneficent nature. These patterns of being restrictive will be replaced with more enlightened methods of self-governance. You will find it simpler to connect among yourselves and not need the formal patterns of structure that have enabled your peacekeeping and alignment within connected communities. So they're saying that up until now, we really needed a lot more structure and guidance and rules and regulation in order to govern our behavior. But as we become more connected to each other, we feel each other's feelings. We're more sensitive and attuned to each other. We don't have to regulate ourselves as much, that we are more naturally inclined to look out for each other. They go on here to say, we are helping to lift that which burdens you all. Those patterns beholden to another man, to he who wields the power and control, not distributed to many as should become in this next context. You will be enabled to be more central to your own self-governance, creating more freedom of expression and how you will be on earth. So here they're speaking to this process of power falling away from those few that are holding power and being more distributed out to the many, to give us more control over our own self-governance. So they're saying they're helping to lift that which burdens us, this centralized, where we really don't have as much control over how we express ourselves in our own life. All right, going on to say, you will connect more easily to one another and find those who are following your same directives, who have within themselves the same call to be free and one, separate from the whole continuity created within this passing era. So this section, they're talking about how we will be drawn, we'll find other people, however it is that we choose to live our lives going forward, if we're free from all of these sort of external constructs saying you have to do it this way, right? You have to, graduate with this kind of GPA, and you have to go to this kind of four-year school, and then you have to get a job at this kind of place, and then you have to buy a house, and like all of these rules that we all are supposed to live within. They're saying once we're freed of all those and we're able to kind of set our own course and figure out how we want to define our lives, we will be drawn to other people who are following those same directives, who have within themselves the same call to be free and one, separate from the whole continuity created within this passing era. So we'll find other people who want to live the same way that we do, and we will be bound together. We will find each other and create our own small communities within these smaller groups. They go on to say, you can have much to be excited about in this new unfolding. You will be present to and witness more of your life, less ensconced in the trivialities of endurance, of being instructed in life's ways, of doing and having and survival of your basic needs. These are still prevalent, and you are continuing to require all the sustenance and happenings of humanity, as it has always been. But you will now find yourselves open to more pleasant experience of your existence here. You will find how we may be helping to assist you with this upleveling of your awareness. So they say that we won't be as fixated on the needs to just provide for ourselves, right? To make a living and make a home and all of these things that we'll still have the need, like we'll still need to eat, we'll still need to be warm, all of those things, but it's not as central to our focus. And this, they go on to explain why that is. They said, you will find how we may be helping to assist you with this up-leveling of your awareness. You can become more attuned to your own desires. Your own experience becomes richer and fuller. You see more through the same aperture. Your vision expands to include more subtle gifts brought through tender appreciation of your own self. The acknowledgement of the gifts of your surroundings, of these, seeing these with eyes unfettered by difficulty, by the pain of your suffering. So it's really about, they're saying that we have the same aperture, right? Our eyes, our vision hasn't changed, but what we see, our perception has changed. So it's a change of consciousness, a change of awareness. And that we have, that, as I said, that our vision expands to include more subtle gifts brought through tender appreciation of our own self and the acknowledgement of the gifts of our surroundings. So we're not only are we having more self-knowledge and a stronger connection to our higher self, but we're also more open to see the beauty that's around us and to be more sensitive to what's good in our lives. And we're not so confronted by the difficulty, the pain, the suffering, the difficulty. They go on to say, these eyes renewed can view the same vista before them and incorporate the knowing of their own dignity, of their view to surrender into each moment and reflect upon its brilliance. Its overwhelming potency of life and tranquility descends upon yourself in new ways yet unknown by many. So I think that's kind of awesome. They're saying, that it's like we are in each moment, being more present in the moment, but really the surrendering to it is what they're saying. So surrendering to this idea of the overwhelming potency of life, and that tranquility descends upon ourselves in new ways. So I think it's a very poetic passage there. They go on to say, this separation from the busyness of your existence will become habitual and permeate your awareness more regularly to inform how you view your surroundings. Surrender yourself to this night of temperate joy and breathe in the perfume of love and compassion, of helping and serving, but always remaining present to this awareness of self as one part of this masterful, beautiful vista. I think that's just gorgeous. I love how they talk, right? They say things so poetically. Okay, so they go on to say, it has become temperate and calm within yourselves with this due time of separation from one another. So they're talking about COVID here and about how we've all been sort of quarantined in our own spaces and quarantined into our own energy. When we're in our own energy, in our own space, our energy isn't as blended with other people, and it's been easier for us to get to know ourselves. And they talk a lot about that here. They say your energies have calmed and pooled within yourselves and allow for clarity of knowing, of curiosity expelled, and central integration informed by your own sweet self. So this is that, like, we've integrated into ourselves because of the fact that we've been allowed to be within our own energy for long enough. And that's helped us to connect to our higher selves. They're saying we've made a lot of progress with this. They go on to say, you have become more enlightened in this process, right? Super cool. And unveiled the portal for your own becoming. That throughput where you will focus your mind to find your deeper self. This place of wonder internal, of daydreaming and finding yourself amiss, of centering your thoughts in the clouds, firmly battened but not described by yourself, not understood in the same manner. These thoughts have pulled you away from the moment, from the cares and trials of your lives. They have drawn you in and up into the realm of imagination, of clarity, of self-awareness. They have opened the portal for your connection to self-mastery. So really, they're saying that this process of being in our own energy has allowed us to become more enlightened. That this process of sort of being locked in our own thoughts and allowing our mind to drift and not being distracted has opened the portal for our own becoming. So how cool is that? They go on to say, you are welcome to join yourself above, your masterful expression of all integrity, of all time and being, of all oneness. This self resides in this place of imagination, of exploration, of self-exploration, of conversations internal had quietly in the recess of your minds. These conversations about happenings, puzzling the nature of your happiness, the realm of your thoughts, most explorative and curious, they are all welcomed here. You are wondering how we might startle this ongoing experiment of being to incorporate this great advancement. We say, have faith in our plan. The unfolding appears most readily. You will find the occurrence of your fearful experiences is not far off and will be jolting for many. And here they're talking about, when they say fearful experiences, they're talking about some of the things I channeled on earlier about the earth rift and the blackout. And they're saying all those things are still coming, that they said in an earlier channeling I did that nothing has been unraveled, or just, how did they describe it? But yeah, that nothing has been deconstructed, that it's all coming. It's just that they can't predict when that's going to come, that's all based on the earth, that in the same way that we get to choose our own healing path, like we get to choose, when we step through to the other side, so does earth gets to choose, like all the circumstances are set up for earth to heal and to go through this process with the earth rift and the blackout and all of that, but the moment that it happens is up to the earth. And so the angels are waiting just like we are. So they're saying here that that the unfolding appears most readily. You will find the occurrence of your fearful experiences is not far off and will be jolting for many. This residual fear you may carry must be dispelled. So a lot of us, it's natural for us to feel fearful about some of these things that we've heard talked about. And I know a lot of you have had your own dreams about this. I know loads of people who've been having dreams about tsunamis and things that could be coming as a result of some of these earth changes. And I know that that's really, really scary, but they're telling us that we need to let go of that fear and just trust and have faith that all of this is happening for our greater good. And it's leading us to this better place. They're saying that whatever residual fear we carry must be dispelled. They go on to say, do not allow yourself to worry that you will be carried away in some fearful flood of your own undoing. It is not for your fearful intention that we would wish to explain this happening. So they're not trying to cause us fear. We wish to absolve all your fears, to relax your being into peaceful extrapolation, to extend your tranquility into the surround, into those happenings which appear on the horizon. So I think this is super important, as they're saying that if we can get back into that place of peace internally, that peace that we feel inside extrapolates outward. It goes out into our surrounding and creates peace around us. So that's the goal, is they want us to let go of the fear, be in peace, and allow that peace to permeate our reality. And that's part of, a part of our path forward. They go on to say, you see the indications. The struggle begins among those intent on separating themselves from one another. They fight this upliftment. And this, I think they're speaking to the polarization that we see in the world right now between, political parties, all over the place, between, the haves and the have-nots. There's this sense of real polarization and fighting and struggle. And I believe that polarization is a reaction against this move towards awakening, this move towards coming together, towards unification of oneness. And that feeling of oneness can be frightening because it feels like a loss of ego as we've known it, right? Where we've been worried about ourselves and our survival and our needs. And we're shifting to a place where, no, it's about where we are sensitive to the needs of others. So any loss of ego can be a frightening experience. So I think they're speaking to that here. They say, they fight this upliftment. They want self-indulgence and fear the connection we seek to provide. It is once forsaken by themselves, and we will persevere to attempt to reunite them with this obstacle that they avoid. We see their fear. Separation feels like safety. And we say not to have fear of their reaction, to understand they will subside, and you will find this eternal gift becoming more frequently unveiled in those to whom you connect. So by the eternal gift, they mean this connection. They said that don't worry, like if you see this separation in the world, you see this polarization and you see this fighting in the world, to not be afraid of that reaction, to understand it and have compassion towards it, and understand that it's coming from that fear of letting go, right? Letting go of ego, letting go of separation, and coming towards unity. And they said that that will subside over time, and we'll see this gift of connection coming forward more and more often as we connect to other people. So they go on to say, you will see how we are present, causing their eyes to drift into focus, to see your truth and admire your reflection of self-expression. They will become capable of absorbing your meaning more fully and find within themselves the portal of understanding each other. This is how we envision your future to come. It will be another invention of spirit within yourselves, to be enjoyed and enabled by our constant provision of love and caring. So a gorgeous message, right? Absolutely beautiful message. And I think it's really exciting to think that we have made this kind of progress so far, that I think we're not always aware of it. We're not always aware, and because we live with ourselves every day, I don't think we always see the changes that we're making in our awareness. And what they're saying is that through this process of being in our own energy, we have been forging a stronger connection with our higher self and knowing ourselves better. And that's like a portal, right, that we then have access to. So it's super exciting to see what they see that we've accomplished so far, and where they see us going even better yet. So if you want to hear more messages like this one, make sure that you don't forget to subscribe using the button down below. Just below that description box, there's a subscribe button. Hit the notifications bell. And of course, you are very invited to come over and join me in the Facebook group, where I am live every Friday at 10 o'clock a.m. Pacific time. That's Spirit Means Business. Just go over to Facebook and search Spirit Means Business, and the group will pop up, and just request to join. I would love to have you there. So thanks so much for joining me, and I will see you next time.